Hi Flosstube, it's Karen, recovering monogamous stitcher. I'm back with Flosstube video number 62. Today is Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. And I don't normally record on a Wednesday, but my regular Friday falls at the time that I will be at Sampler Symposium. So I'm recording today. I leave tomorrow on Thursday, and very, very much looking forward to it, and I'll talk about it a little bit more a little later in the video. I didn't want to skip a recording day and then have a ton of things the next recording day because I'll have Sampler Symposium things to talk about. So this is a quick catch up, let you know what I've been sewing, where I am, and what my plans are, and show you some good finishes and good stitching. So if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy that you stopped by. And my regular viewers subscribers, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. It's, you know, setting up seems like, oh, what a hassle, but you know, it just really pays off with the viewers and the comments and the back and forth. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I'm going to jump right into it. My last Flosstube was on January 3rd, and I have stitched every day in the meantime. I haven't stitched yet today. Don't know if I'll get to it, but because I haven't packed, so we'll see. Let's see. The first thing I want to show you is an FFO. I had showed you my finished stitch on the shelter sampler from Lucy Beam, and I got this. We all got this at the Litchfield Ranch Retreat in Litchfield, Kentucky in September, and I finished stitching it, and I now have it framed, and I initialed and dated it. I have to get better at that. I'm inconsistent, and I have to do that all the time. So there it is. It's beautiful, isn't it? The colors are lovely. I loved it. I love stitching it. I'm happy with the finish, and this frame, I told you before, is off the shelf at straight off the shelf. It's an 8x10 from Hobby Lobby, and I love the details on it. So to me, it looks like custom, but it's not, and it is heavy. So anyway, have to be sure to get it on a substantial hanger when I put it on the wall. So Shelter Sampler from Lucy Beam. I would imagine it would be released in a year. That's normally what the designers do. Okay, you know, Karen, look at your notes so you don't skip stuff. And I've already skipped stuff. Sorry. I got Stitchy Kindness. So this is what's another part that's so exciting about having this channel, that you know, you hear from people and they make contact and so forth. So I heard from Melody. She sent me a Christmas card. She had been a winner of, I think, the project folder. I could be wrong. But thank you, Melody. That was such a surprise to receive this, and I appreciate it. And I put it in my book of days. So thank you so much. And I also received a thank you from another winner. This is from Deb. This beautiful card. Isn't that lovely? That's a sampler from someplace in New Jersey. Gloucester County, New Jersey, and it was 1801. Isn't that nice? A sweet note. Thank you so much, Deb. I was happy to share the project bag with you, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it, but that's not all. But wait, there's more. She sent me lovely fabric and trim. This is going to go in my finishing supplies. I look forward to using this sometime. Thank you so much, Deb. I appreciate that very much. It's great. Thank you. So see, I almost forgot that completely. I have to go back to my notes. Okay, I have a finished object. You know, I've been doing a snow day stitch, and by golly, we've had snow days. So, Jolly Happy Soul from Brenda Gervais. This is a 2015 release from Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. And I finished it. It is finished. Completely finished. The snowflakes show, and I did initial it and put the year down there, and I did that with 2 threads because it just was not showing at all. I could have chosen a darker color, but I usually try to go light. So there's Jolly Happy Soul, Brenda Gervais. I'm thinking about how I'm going to finish it. Could be a pillow, could be a stand-up, could be framed, I suppose. I don't know. So I'm thinking about it. If you have any ideas, let me know. Jolly Happy Soul. So that was my first snow day piece that was finished. And when I finished that, I had to choose another one because the next day was another snow day. So I went through some of my things that I have on file, and I found this from Hands On Design, Berries in Bloom. This was a freebie that she released in 2020, and I've checked and it's still available on her website if you would like this. This one went like wildfire when she released it, and I had it and I always wanted to stitch it, but I never did. But it became my next snow day stitch. So I stitched it. What do I have, 2.5 days or something, and it's done. It has back stitching. Those little stems are back stitched, and then the X's in the berries that give the highlight in the berries are, well, that's a big X over 4 stitches, over 4 regular cross stitches. So it's a big one. And I did initial that and put a date on that also. And again, I don't know how I'm going to finish it. I don't think I want it as an ornament. It could be a top of a drum, I suppose, but I don't have plans for how I would do the rest of the drum. It could be a little pillow. Her finish in the picture doesn't really show, it just shows the stitching, so I don't get an idea of a sense of how she finished it. So this is Berries in Bloom. I'm glad I got it done because it's been hanging around and I've always loved it. As soon as I saw it, I loved it. So I'm happy I have it done. So this is Snow Day stitch number 2 for me. But wait, there's more. Let's see. Okay, I'll get to it because it's not in the regular order. So that's 2 finishes. So I had a fully finished and 2 finishes, and now I will go through my WIPs that I worked on in the last week and a half. I showed you Martha Miller. This comes from Running with Scissors and Needles. Needles and Scissors. I'm sorry, Sylvia. The Queen City Sampler Guild in Cincinnati is doing a stitch along, and I'm participating in that. I think I saw in an email that there are about 50 maybe participating in the stitch along. And if you like this and would like to get this, of course you can join Queen City Sampler Guild and join in the stitch along. Otherwise it'll be released. I asked on our Zoom and she told me, was it in the fall? I think in the fall it'll be released. So you could wait if you want to wait, but look at it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Martha Miller, Running with Needles and Scissors. And I got my January stitching assignment done and did a little bit more. I quickly showed you this last time. She divided it into like 9 approximately equal parts. So we'll be done in September if we keep up. If I keep up, I'll be done in September. And I just arbitrarily said I will go January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, because I can do it however I want. So I have finished my first assignment. And then so it finished like here. Well, I had, from another spot, I had that color on my needle, so I did the next letter, and then another spot, I did the next letter. And this, I had some thread left, so I just finished it out because this line is going to go across anyway, so I just finished out the thread. Down here, I finished the little guy's jacket because it was on my needle, so I just finished the jacket, even though that spills down into the next month's assignment, or another month's assignment. And this, it kind of cut off like right there about, and I did not want to count out to the middle of nowhere and make a mistake. So I determined how I could make sure that it connected correctly, and I did that. So I've gotten a little spill into some other month's assignments, but it's a lovely stitch. It's a beautiful pattern. And so January is done. I intend to keep up with that and be done with it in September. And that one lives in my, a bag I made with Blackbird design fabric, and oh, I got my pattern there, but and then the lining fabric is different fabric, but it's still Blackbird fabric. Okay, I'm gonna have a catastrophe here, hang on. Okay. The next thing I stitched on was my birthday start in 2024, the Smith sampler. You've seen this all over the place. Many people are stitching it. It's been popular. Since I started watching Flosstubes, I saw this and loved it the first time I saw it, and finally got it started in February 2024. And I think I may get it done before my birthday next month. So it kind of has sections here. There's section 1 with the swan, section 2 has the berry basket, and section 3 has a bird and 2 big pots or trees of flowers. So the last I have to do is the house section, and then there's a little more. This section is a little bigger than the other sections, so let me show you. Previously, I had been done in the first 2 bands, and in the 7 days, I finished the 3rd band, except on one of the sides. On this side, I have a few colors to fill in on a couple of these, but essentially, I got the 3rd band done. So potentially 1 more month's assignment as a focus piece, 7 days in a month, I may have it done by my birthday. Even if I don't, I'll start another birthday start. So Smith sampler, and I love it. I'm stitching this on 40 count cottage stone from Color and Cotton, and I'm using Vicky Clayton silk conversion. And I've shown you that box that holds my threads, and I'm keeping it in my Stitch Folk birthday bag. This is now assigned to whatever birthday start I ever do will go in that bag. I love that little girl. Okay. Let's see, I showed you Martha Miller. Okay, and last time you remember I showed you the finish of Anna Oman. She was my red sampler. I always have a red sampler on the go, and I I assign myself at least 3 days in a month. I can do more if I want, but at least 3 days every month on that red sampler until it's done. So Anna Oman was finished last time. So I started and now we're in January, so I started my next red sampler. This is from Hands Across the Sea. It's called A Stitch in Time Saves 9. It's a beautiful red sampler. This is available exclusively from A Stitch in Time in Hobart, Tasmania. It's a wonderful Hands Across the Sea. So A Stitch in Time Saves 9. And I just got it started. I've done 2 afternoons on it. So I started, I was going to at first do the border all the way around, and then I thought, now as I come down, I should, start these dividing bands. And then I did that, and then I thought, oh, I better check and make sure that's counted right, because I will be very upset if I get down farther and discover I've miscounted. So I put a couple, of the elements or letters in there to make sure everything was counted all right, and so far so good. So this is A Stitch in Time Saves 9. I'm stitching this on 40 count cream and sugar from Fiber on a Whim, and I'm using DMC 321. That is the DMC color that Nicola recommends, and I'm not doing the silk on this one. So that's my red sampler. And just as another little side note, I decided to myself, new rule for Karen, not only will I have a focus piece every month and a red sampler on the go all the time, I'm going to make sure I always have at least 1 Hands Across the Sea going at any one time. I haven't assigned number of days yet. I'll see, so this counts for 2. But I have so many Hands Across the Sea pieces that are ready and in progress, and I'm getting more. So anyway, and that's kept in my red bag. This is Lori Holt fabric. I use this bag for my red sampler of the month, or sampler. Okay, so that's the stitching I've done. Very little haul, very little. I got my floss fix from Fat Quarter Shop. I'm in the This is the Classic Colorworks threads, and you get 5 every month, 6 every month. And I'm also in the Weeks Dye Work, so I'm building up a thread collection so that I have it at the ready and it's in my stash. This, I did get one pattern here, but it actually was from a previous order. I got it from 123 Stitch, but it was a previous order and they had made a mistake and sent me the wrong pattern. So I sent that one back. They reimbursed my postage and they sent me the one that I actually ordered, and I ordered it just for this cat. I love that cat. I have no intention of stitching this other, I don't know if it's a dragon or a griffin or something, but look at that cat. I love it. It'll be a cute, cute little pillow. So that's what I got. And that's the extent of my haul. Of course, there's more coming. I have pre-ordered a new Hands Across the Sea and from the attic, and they're holding it for me. I'll pick that up at Sampler Symposium. And then, of course, you know, we're going to get samplers from the designers who are there, and so I'll have lots to show when I get back. Now, okay, I've jumped off the topic here. Plans. Let me show you my plans. I've talked about Mary Amelia's bird and wanting to stitch it on perforated paper. And I did the coloring on the perforated paper. Now, I purposely tried to make it darker at the edges. I don't know, in my mind, that's kind of the way I think old things look, kind of, and splotchy, but darker at the edges. So that was the result from a white perforated paper. And perforated paper, I had the idea that it was papery and that I could easily bend it. It feels more like a plastic. Can you hear that? It's quite sturdy, so I'm not afraid of poking my finger through it like I thought I would be. And Mary Amelia's bird. Oops, I gathered all the DNCs for her yesterday, and I had done zipped in this, and now I've just zipped it. Okay, Mary Amelia's bird. And it's not going to take nearly this whole piece of paper, so I have to figure out where I'm going to start it so I'm being the most efficient in using the paper. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Okay, and yesterday I took a trip to the framer, had my 2 pieces in the project roll. I have 3 sizes of project rolls. This is my medium size, and I put Anna Ullman and Yellow Submarine in here. They're ready. They're going to be framed, and they're ready to be framed. I took them in, they got measured, and came home with the 2 pieces of foam core already. So my job now is to lace those pieces on this foam core. And I'm thinking when I come back from Sampler Symposium, that Tuesday I'll get the call that the frames are in. So I hope I get those laced today. Otherwise, anyway, the frames will be ready when I'm back from Sampler Symposium. So that I'm going to be doing. Okay, and the other part of plans is that I'm of course going to be going to Sampler Symposium, leaving tomorrow. I'm so excited, I can hardly stand it. It's like the mothership has called and I'm coming. I'm so excited to see, you know, everything on the walls and the people I'll meet, and it's very exciting. So the big thought I have, so now what am I going to stitch on the plane? My light and its protective cover are rather heavy. I don't want to have that in, you know, my seat, you know, by my seat and carrying it on and all that. That's going to be in my checked luggage. So I'll be stitching without a magnifier and without special light. Whatever the light is above in the plane is what I'll do. So I have 2 little projects, and I put them in my little mini project fold keeper, and I got the pattern for this from Tiger Lily. She sells the pattern. If you're interested, you can do that. So I've put 2 projects in here. Oh, I made a picture of the pattern and put it. So on this side, I have Spell of the Moon, which is a blackbird design, and I think, you see how I can just look through here and see the pattern? So I think that'll work. And I have little bitty hoop. This is actually the one that I got from the retreat in Litchfield, Kentucky. And it just has 3 colors in it. So I have it on a little ring and have my tiny little scissor. And I'm stitching using a ballpoint needle. And I practiced yesterday sitting here with no magnification. And it's tricky. I'm not that good at it without, I'm just so used to magnification. So, you know, I had to take some stitches out because I was off a thread. I went 3 threads, or I went just 1 thread instead of 2. So that's one thing that I can stitch. And the other thing I'm taking on the plane is, you've seen this one all over the world here. Cecelia Turner. This is called Winter Cardinal Etchings from Cecelia Turner, Heart and Hand. She had a series of 4, and they're out as the whole series. I think you can get them all together now. I got this out of Primitive Stitching and Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching magazine. In 2020 it was released. How about that? 2 of my favorites were released in 2020. So this is now my 3rd snow day stitch. And I got a start on it. And again, I have the pattern in the vinyl pocket here, so I can see the pattern. I won't worry about it dropping on the floor. And this has just 2 colors, so I have them on a ring. This was left from Prairie Schooler when I was doing twirling, the cording. So I had some really long strands, so I marked them. This is the number, and so this is what I'm using. I'll use that up. So I have, again, I'll use the same ball tip needle. I have the same little scissor. Oh, I have a thread around here also. Friend Susan gave that to me. So I think I'm all set. It's very compact. It won't take, it's not going to be too bulky. The question is, will I be able to see well enough to do it? And that's all. There's very little control over the situation there, so I want to get this back in here. So that's my plan, to take this little thing in my carry-on, or it could even go in my purse actually, on the plane. And this is what I'll try to do on the plane, because I certainly cannot do anything 40 count. That's no way without magnification. So that's my plan for on the plane. I have no quilting to show you this time. I did, I think, another day, or as you know, my days are cut in half. First half of the day is machine stitching, and then the second half of the day is sitting in the chairs cross stitching. So like 1.5 of my quilting times, I ran out of bobbin thread for that color. I knew I would be close. I thought I would get closer to the end, but I didn't. So anyway, I've ordered the right color bobbin thread, and that is coming. I had a couple other colors that were relatively close. One was a little darker, one was a little lighter, but if it does end up going in a show, I don't want a quilt judge to turn it over and see different bobbin colors. That's just not good. So that's the story about the quilt. No quilt view this time. And that's what I wanted to accomplish today. I wanted to get you caught up on what I've stitched and my plans a little bit, and share my excitement about going to the attic for the first time. Yay. And I will be sharing as much as I can. I'll take pictures, and like I said, I have a sprocket printer, and so I can print my pictures, and I have pages set aside for retreats in the back of my book of days, and I'll be putting pictures in here. And I've heard from, I think I have a list of about 20 people who either are subscribers or regular listeners to my channel, who let me know that they are going to be at Sampler Symposium. And I do have a little something for you if you have told me that you're going to be there. And if you haven't, do it on this video. Tell me now so I know. And I have a little something for you. And please come up to me and introduce yourself, because I won't recognize you, but you'll recognize me. So I look forward to seeing you there. I look forward to everything about it. And it'll be nice to get out of this snow. I didn't anticipate this many snow days. So anyway, I'm on my 3rd snow day stitch. So that's all from me today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will be back on the 31st of January. That's my next regular Friday recording date, and I'll see what other people have already posted about Sampler Symposium. I don't need to repeat what other people have said, but as a first-time attendee, I may have a different take on things, and I'll be happy to share that with you. So I look forward to seeing you on the 31st, and if you are going to be at Sampler Symposium and have not let me know, please let me know in the comments. I want to meet you. And to everybody, have happy stitching and stay safe in the cold snow, and I will see you on the 31st. Thanks. Bye-bye.